Oh, I think we're live. All right. Hey, everybody. Josh Brown here, managing editor with Fisher's Magazine. I'm joined today with Youth Mentoring Initiative Executive Director Alison Gatz.
Hello.
Alison, thanks for taking some time to chat with me today.
I love it. Yeah.
So we're getting together. We saw earlier this week, obviously YMI, it's a new year. January's National Mentoring Month, right? So that's kind of where we're at in this discussion, where this comes about. But you guys are kind of in a position right now where you're in some pretty critical need of mentors, right? It's a new year. School semester just started back for HSE schools, schools everywhere, really. But you've got a lot of students that are looking for some mentors. So maybe kind of cue us in, maybe make your pitch of, why this is important, why it's critical for these students that are looking for mentors right now.
Yeah. We've always been, a little heavy on the male mentee recommendations,
Right.
And trying to find the male mentors. It's always kind of been a challenge for us. But this year it seems a little bit more in that we're getting more and more recommendations from the schools and from parents are wanting their kids to get in the program. And so over the past few weeks, we've seen more, especially boys, that might be waiting for a mentor.
Right.
And so I was getting ready for our staff meeting on Monday, and I was pulling reports and everything. And when I pulled the report, which is what I posted on Facebook, I saw the number of boys, and then I saw the, waiting 1 month, waiting 2 months, waiting 3 months. And I thought, we can't continue like this.
Yeah.
We just can't. And, our school, our staff that's in the school, the boys will come up, hi, Miss Courtney, have you found my mentor yet? No, but we're working on it. And I hear that little kid's voice in my head and the disappointment when we have to tell him, no, we haven't found a mentor yet.
Right.
And what kind of message that might be sending him. And I just said, okay, guys, so we're going to put the agenda of the staff meeting to the side and all hands on deck.
Yeah.
We've got to find mentors for these boys, and no excuses, just this is what we have to do.
Right.
And so we've kind of been on a mission the past couple days.
Yeah.
And it's been kind of fun. It's been exciting to see all the momentum and the buzz and everybody talking about it. And, at the end of the day, it's all about providing those relationships for these kids.
Right.
And that's just what we've got to do.
Yeah. Well, and obviously, they're hungry for it too, right? They're looking for people to invest in them. What would you tell people, maybe, men that are maybe even watching this right now that maybe just think, well, I don't know if I would make the best mentor. What in your eyes is the type of person that might make the best mentor for these kids, for these young male students?
Well, it's not rocket science.
Right.
So you don't have to have special training. You don't have to have a PhD in communicating with kids. Really just a little bit of life experience.
Yeah.
So we ask that everybody at least be 25 and over.
Okay.
Unless there's a life experience that is too good to miss on. Perfect example, we found a young gentleman that was 21, 22, and his mom passed away when he was in high school. So he can speak to that experience, and so we made an exception, and we made that match of a current high schooler that's going through that journey right now. So we wanted to make that happen, and so we did. But, honestly, these kids just want somebody to talk to.
Yeah.
It's so simple.
Yeah.
At the end of the school year last year, we did a survey, and I was kind of going through the surveys from the kids, looking at the answers, and I asked, how did having a YMI mentor impact your life this year? Almost every single one of them said, it gave me somebody to talk to. Mm-hmm. And it's not that they can't talk to their parents, but I know with my kids, they get tired of, coming to me all the time with certain things. And, I'll find out later, that they were struggling with something and they didn't come to me.
Right.
And I'm, a little offended because I felt like, we had that closeness, and we do. but they're like, Mom, I just didn't want to yet again come to you with another problem,
Right.
or and sometimes they just want that extra avenue. I'm sure with our spouses, sometimes we hate to just constantly dump everything on them.
Sure.
It's nice to have our other support network of friends or buddies or family that we're not just dumping on one person. So it's no different than that.
Right. And that's important. I mean, that's something we were even just chatting about. Both of us are parents, and mom and dad are only so cool, right? Typically, they're not the coolest person that you think. So, it means even at times that these kids, it's beneficial for the parents too, because they're having someone else that's investing in their children, and maybe their kid's a little bit more apt to talk to them about things.
Yeah.
To help them out that maybe they don't want to talk to their parents about.
Exactly.
So how do you guys maybe? Are you navigating through those things? Like, how do you navigate through those things? Maybe if there's something that comes up that a mentor is kind of discussing with their mentee that maybe the parents need to be clued in on. Do they kind of get brought into that at times, or is it confidential? How does that work?
It kind of depends what the scenario is. We kind of categorize them on severity as far as it's just kind of like a good to know kind of thing, or kind of a 411. If it's like a straight up like 911 kind of thing where they're doing something that's going to jeopardize their safety or the safety of someone else. So we try and preserve the integrity of that mentor-mentee relationship, unless the safety of the kid or somebody else is in question. And then we just set that expectation with the kids immediately. The mentors say, look, I love you enough that I'm going to protect you at all costs. And if that means that you share something with me that we need to loop your parents in on, or school, then that's just what I've got to do to protect you. Yeah. So we really work with our mentors to set that expectation right out of the gates. And then we also tell our mentors that if there's ever anything that they feel like the parent might want to know but not necessarily need to know, they bring that to us. Okay. And then we can go share that information, and then that way it protects that integrity of the relationship between the mentor and mentee. Because we don't want the kids to think that if they share anything with the mentor that they're just going to go and tell mom and dad everything.
Sure.
Yeah. So that's kind of how we handle that.
Awesome. Well, and for you, I mean, maybe for those that don't know you as well, right? You kind of jumped into this role as executive director and kind of taken this role over, it was just past May, I think, in 2018, June. So maybe give people some insight into who you are, give people some insight into maybe why this is a passion that you have, and why you've kind of decided to join YMI.
So I came on board with them about 2 years ago as parent liaison, and it was going to be my job to kind of build that role because we didn't have it. We didn't really have a way to communicate with the parents, and so I came on, and I'm just kind of working through the operations and the process of getting parent consent and establishing those relationships and just putting systems in place. And then there were just some things that kind of just kept snowballing. And honestly, what got my heart in it the most was when my kids would come home and we'd have conversations about how their day was. And, I might have one of my daughters tell me about some of the struggles that her friends are having. And I thought, man, do they want a mentor? And so I could just see the heartache on her face because she wants to help her friends. And then because she wants to help her friends, then I want to help her friends. Or I see that, somebody might be struggling because maybe their mom is sick, or maybe it's a single mom who has a couple jobs and is hardly ever home because she's just trying to put food on the table and she's trying to make ends meet. Yeah. And so, the student or the kid might be home by themselves a lot, and they just need that extra adult pouring into them and showing them that we got you. You're not going to do this whole life thing alone, that your village is here. We're going to show up. We're going to suit up, and we got you. Yeah.
What are some, I'm interested to know, and maybe people who are watching, what are some of the things that you hear back from some of these kids that you guys hear that have been mentored, maybe how it's positively impacted them? and even for these mentors, right? Because it comes full circle. A lot of people
Yeah.
think they're having to just invest in their time, and nothing's coming back. But these mentors probably wind up learning some things as well. Maybe even that they take back to their kids, or maybe even that just forming a new relationship. But what are some of the things that you guys hear about how this positively affects both the students and the mentors?
It's pretty cool because, we immediately think a mentoring relationship, so it's just one-sided. And, even in the past couple of days with all the buzz on social media about what we do, I've been able to read some comments of mentors that are maybe sharing our post.
Yeah.
And they'll say, mentoring is the highlight of my week, or that they've been able to share an experience that maybe they had in school. So like bullying, that's a big thing.
Right.
We've had some of our mentors that say, I can tell and show my mentee that there's life after bullying, and that the severity of things for kids right now today, in the grand scheme of a whole lifetime,
Right.
isn't as bad or as devastating as the kids may feel like right now today.
Right. Junior high and high school is only a small period of time, which is hard for them to
it's hard to
see past
it,
that.
Yeah, because we see it because we're past that.
Right.
But to them, that's like right here, right now, and I'm not going to be able to see tomorrow through all this right here.
Yeah.
So I've had mentors tell me that they now have a purpose, that maybe they didn't have before. Getting up and going to work every day was becoming pretty monotonous.
Sure.
And then you throw, this relationship into the mix, and it's just kind of a nice break in the day.
Yeah.
Gives you something to look forward to. I have mentors tell me all the time that they thought they came into the situation to bless a kid.
Right.
But in essence, that relationship blessed them.
Yeah.
And that's pretty cool. It's pretty cool to see those things happen.
That's awesome. Well, we were talking about, obviously, we're a week or so into the new year. Everyone's got their New Year's resolutions and goals for the year. I mean, this is your first full year kind of taking over the reins and helping out with YMI. Maybe give us some insight. What's your big goal in this first full year for you for YMI? What's maybe the long-term goal for you guys heading into a new year, a new couple of years?
I'm really, really excited about this year. I really am. I feel like we're getting better and better at what we do, putting systems into place, putting policies into place. We've got to be able to find a way to get ourselves sustainable financially, so we can do recruiting, so we can do marketing, so we can, find the mentors for these kids. Yeah. Because at the end of the day, if we can't find mentors for the kids, we can't exist.
Right.
And we're doing a really great job in the city of, talking about mental health and breaking down the stigma. And so the kids know that. And so they're becoming more comfortable about saying, yeah, I want a mentor. I want to talk. I want somebody to hear what I've got to say. And if we can't provide that, then what kind of message does that tell them? That, we're talking a pretty good talk, but we're not really walking it.
Yeah.
So I want to see that evolve. And so, my goal has always been that, look, if every kid in Fishers wants a mentor, I want to be able to provide that.
Yeah.
That's my goal.
Yeah.
I don't want to say, we don't have time.
Right.
Or we don't have the resources, or I don't want to give them just another, I can't.
Right.
Everybody needs their village.
Sure. Well, and I'm curious too, you mentioned not having time. That's probably one of maybe the bigger excuses people just kind of use in their head. And maybe they don't. Maybe you don't have time. Obviously, if you're going to do this, you want to be able to make the time. But for those who think this is just a super time-consuming time commitment, maybe kind of explain, what is it you guys are looking for? Is this once a day? Is this once a week? What does it look like timeline-wise as far as the commitment to do this?
So we always say an hour a week.
Okay.
That's pretty big.
Yeah.
But really, depending upon what school the mentee is at, it might only be 35 minutes.
Right.
And so the time that it takes you to drive to the school, to check in, meet with your student for 35, 45 minutes and then drive back to the office or drive back to where you got to go, really it's about an hour a week.
Right.
And that's even on the weeks that we don't have spring break, we don't have fall break, we don't have winter break, no testing weeks, you know, we don't do mentoring during testing weeks. So, you know, it's just that, if you look at it this way, it might be you have a standing lunch appointment every week, you know. Everybody kind of has those. You kind of have your thing that you just do every week, and that's about it.
Yeah, just kind of helping out, maybe filling in that spot. So it's not, I mean, it's not something huge. It's not every day.
It's not. It's really not that big, and it's not that time consuming, and it's not rocket science. It's just having, I mean, some of our mentors, they'll just pull out a board game.
Yeah.
And they just play a game.
Spend time with them.
Just spend time with them. And that is, it's immeasurable as far as the relationship and what it means to that kid.
Yeah. So if you're watching this, you don't have to be a big CEO of a company or something crazy to mentor one of these students here in Fishers. Allison, thanks for taking some time to chat with us.
We really thank you.
Yeah,
I mean, honestly, thank you for helping us spread the word.
Of course, yeah.
And we really appreciate that.
Sure, yeah. And for those watching, maybe clue them in on where to go if they want to get plugged in, if they want to reach out to you, or maybe just learn more about mentoring.
Yeah, so you can go to our website, and that is, of course, www.ymionline.org. It's pretty easy process to get onboarded as far as mentoring. Fill out a mentor application on our website. You have to get the safe visitor clearance to go into the schools, so that's on the school's website. And then sign up for a training. And we're doing training every single week. So we're trying to get these mentors onboarded and trained as quickly as we can to get them matched and in the schools.
All right. Awesome. Well, there you have it.
So go sign up.
Yeah, go sign up again. It's National Mentoring Month this month. If you're considering it, just go do it. It'll be more rewarding for you and the students than you can imagine. So thanks again, everybody, for taking some time to join us. Have a good day.
Thank you.